Shalom Akim. First off, we'll start by saying all praise goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Shah, Ba'ashim, Kakwadash, double honors the apostles and those with millstone towards this truthful rule well. Citation goes out to the brothers out there pushing this word. Sincerity and honesty, the hopeful elect. Lord, we're part of that number. Under the Korah Allah, and it means
Kasad.
And through the spirit, we get into a lesson, and Lord will brothers are edified. Shalak, you don't have any garments right now. It's all through the spirit, and we can't seem to get this a good light out here right now. But through the spirit, we're just gonna keep rolling. So you got the first one.
It says, 2nd Ezra, chapter 16. I guess I start at 70. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord."
Right, and an insurrection is an uprising. All right, there should be in every city and every place a great insurrection upon those who fear the Lord. And ultimately, who's going to be leading that insurrection? It's going into the government. All right, the government's going to lead that insurrection, just like in the ancient times when you had the Lord's prophets. All right, you had Yahweh Shai, the ones people ever called Jesus Christ. You had his prophets, all right, being beheaded, being hung. All right, that was that insurrection. Okay, now that insurrection's come again against the Lord's men today.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none. Because how is when I say the so-called white man or Esau, the government, they're gonna come down using their military force. All right, the same way right now Trump, he just allowed the CIA or government agencies to come to different neighborhoods to crack down on crime in the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans communities mainly. All right, but basically that's martial law. So he's going to use his force, whether it be the government or whether it be a military from overseas coming to America. All right, he's going to use his force to, basically bring that martial law, ultimately coming down on the men of the Lord. All right, who are the Israelites, the elect. All right, the one out there pushing the words and the hows and byways, and also 2/3. Everyone's going to be caught up in this in the time of Jacob's trouble. But ultimately, he's going into the elect.
It says, For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses."
For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. All right, and you can see that your government is doing that systematically right now as we speak. All right, because right now there's no jobs. All right, no work, but people still expect to have their bills paid. All right, when they have your mortgage paid, have your rent paid. Okay, you still got to pay up. Okay, and now we had the government shutdown. They had the stimulus packages and the stimulus checks. Okay, and they had a tenant or eviction protection that was also part of the stimulus package, and nothing's being passed. All right, so this month alone, a lot of Americans are going to be evicted, kicked out of their homes. All right, yeah, even the Lord's men are going to go through it also.
Okay. It says, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire."
Yeah, will be tried as gold in the fire, because the scriptures also speak about different temptations. Okay, everything that's about to happen. Okay, you still being tried until the very end. All right, and these trials is only gonna get harder and harder until we're delivered. Okay.
Yeah, me say too, because it begins with the elect, because that's who really matters. All right, when it's all said and done, the Most High don't give a damn about these other nations, including 2/3 of his own people. All right, because they're catching hell too. All right, they're suffering as well as the men of the Lord. We're suffering here in America as well because this place is going down. The dollar's circling the drain. All right, you had reports going out on how the value of the dollar is depreciating, and the GDP is at an all-time low. Levels that hasn't been seen since the Great Depression. Levels that's worse than the Great Depression is happening right now in America. All right, because the dollar is being dumped by these other nations, and people have the inflation is happening. Hyperinflation is beginning. And that's another reason why they don't want to continue these stimulus checks, and they don't want to give people the unemployment benefits.
Right.
I got a scripture. This is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 27. If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take away thy bed from under thee?
Yeah, because he's the devil. That's why. That's going into your government. All right, that's going to the wicked, the devil, the so-called white man. All right, it's done with the elites. This national bankers family. They run the whole world. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right, so this is the wicked right here, man. Read that again.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 27. If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take away thy bed from under thee?
That's right. There's no jobs. All right. It's not like people don't want to work. Okay. You hear people all the time. I can't wait till this
thing open back up.
This thing open back up, man. This government, not the government shut down, but this shutdown, this COVID-19 shutdown, this pandemic is over with, so I can go back to work. People want to work, but they can't because it's a shutdown. Which the pandemic, all that's all bogus. It's all a setup. Ultimately it's a setup.
And it's a setup because we know that this economy has been circling the drain, for a long time now, and now they're using the pandemic, this COVID-19 pandemic, as an excuse to point the blame and as why the economy is collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been working beautifully. And that's why they're pushing for a second wave, because this COVID-19 was a success for the elites, right? And it's helping forward their agenda, their New World Order agenda.
Yeah, the scriptures say the simple believes every word. All right.
Exactly.
There's no more on that.
Let me read it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's Proverbs 22 and 27. If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take away thy bed from under thee?
Mm-hmm. And that's gonna cause a lot of uproars also. All right, yo, man, all hell is about to break loose in America, man. All right, you trying to take away a man's home, a man's shelter for his family, his loved ones. All right, that man's gonna have to do what he got to do. Okay, and when that marching, when all that marching and protesting, all that doesn't work, okay, people are gonna become desperate, and that's when we're gonna have nothing but chaos, which is also what Esau's expecting. All right, the elites are expecting that. You don't think they got those foreign troops, all right, or stormtroopers? They have this whole martial law thing set up already, man. Everything is ready. I know. Was it last year? You saw the tanks rolling in on the trains and on trucks. Yeah. So everything is already set up. Okay. They got something called auto abcato, order out of chaos. All right. So that's the so-called white man's agenda, man, to create chaos so he could have a reason to bring in his order, which ultimately that'll be the New World Order.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it for you. This is Isaiah 24 and 1. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste.
Yeah, and ultimately that's what the Lord is gonna do, man. That's the end all be all. All right. That's how this world is gonna end. Because we know that the planet Earth is not gonna be destroyed, but this age, this era, is gonna come to an end. The era of Esau, the so-called white man, being in power, that's coming to an abrupt end, and it's gonna go out by fire, nuclear destruction, and the chariots, which you people would ignorantly call alien invasion. Okay.
And turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him.
Yeah, and this verse right here is letting you know that, you know, this is one of the plagues that the Lord is bringing, because everybody is going to be on the same level as far as, like, you know, economically speaking, man. Everybody's going to be on the same status, the same level, man. All right, because when this economy collapses, and which is collapsing right now, you know, there's not going to be no more jobs, man. Right now, the only jobs out here are really essential jobs. Okay, but when the dollar completely collapses, all right, and inflation is at a point where, you know, it's you can't bring it back. You can't bring the dollar back. Everybody gonna be on the same level, man. You know, the economy's gonna completely collapse. All right, and there ain't gonna be nobody boasting about their accolades and, you know, I got this or I got that. You know, this type of job, that type of job, because everybody gonna be on the same level. Everybody gonna be out here. You know, it's gonna be like the brother was going into earlier. It's gonna be martial law here. They're gonna be rationing food. Okay.
Yeah.
And they you know, people are gonna be tempted to comply with the government to obtain these goods, such as food, such as shelter, protection. Okay. Because, you know, when the economy collapses, there's not gonna be no jobs. There's not gonna be no welfare, no public assistance, no SNAP benefits.
Yeah.
All of that is gonna be cut off.
Even now, all right. If tenants can't pay, you know, the rent, people can't pay mortgage, all right. Then the owners of the buildings, all right, they won't be able to pay for that building, you know, or for that land. So it's gonna be a total shutdown. All right, that's gonna be a whole shutdown. You know, which is revenue, man, because that money is used to build other things like schools and so on and so forth, man. So it's gonna be like a domino effect.
That's right. It's gonna be that's gonna lead to food shortages as well, because if there's no jobs out here, you know, because these cities depend on these trucks to import, you know, food such as meat, vegetables, fruits, grains, because there's no farms in these cities. So these people depend on these trucks to import these goods, and if there's no money to be made, then there's not going to be nobody driving these trucks. And therefore, it's going to lead to a famine, and food is going to be rationed off. That's why the scriptures talk about the famine, and we're seeing food prices, the price for food increase, you know, right now in these supermarkets. You know, food is getting more expensive.
It's hardly any food in there, you know. There's a shortage on meat right now, too, if you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you noticed, but you go, you know, people going, man, I ain't talking about Costco, but like talking about the Met, City, Key Food. You know, you go up in there, it's a shortage of meat.
How many businesses has closed down in this year alone, man? Over 50 million people have filed for unemployment. You know, a lot of small businesses that was still in the game, they're no longer around anymore. And a lot of those were restaurants, which sell food. A lot of these restaurants